Hello, this is Pat again. Today we're talking about Risk Education Module 2. So I have sent out Module 2 to the folks who have given me their email. You can also find Module 2 videos on Facebook, Pat's Prevention and Treatment Services, or I can email them to you. My email is pat@changeisachoice.org. You can text me 217-766-9132. It will be necessary for you to make sure that you check in one of those avenues, because if I don't know that you are participating, you don't get credit. So I need the notes. I need you to contact me. Okay. So for now, get your pen and paper, and on it, you're going to write your name, first and last. Some folks send me notes and I don't know who they are, because what happens is I print them out. There's no name on them. So it's difficult to search back and find out who they belong to. So give me your first and last name. Please print it so I can read it, and today's date and Module 2. The title of Module 2, I'll be turning side to side. My manual is right here. The title is Laws and Consequences. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. I've also sent you a YouTube video on a case for murder. Your job is to watch that video and give me your opinion. Is it murder? Yes or no? And why? Either way, why is it or why isn't it? So, consequences. One of those is that there are many, many, many deaths every year related to alcohol and other drugs, DUI. So, there are laws that tell us that we cannot become impaired on any substance, including marijuana, prescription meds, anything like that. Alcohol. Alcohol is a drug, a depressant drug. So those laws tell us we cannot drive impaired. We don't have to have a BAC to be arrested for DUI. In the state of Illinois, if you are 0.08 or under, or have no BAC at all, but you have drugs in your system, whether that is medication or illegal drugs, you can be arrested. According to the laws in place at the moment regarding marijuana, we are told that a person may be convicted of DUI with 5 or more nanograms of THC in their blood, 10 or more nanograms in their saliva. Okay. Besides the arrests and fines and fees, those kinds of consequences, we know that people die every day from alcohol drug-related crashes. And so that's, they tell us about 29 people die a day. And so this is from 2017, so that may have changed, but that's about one person every 50 minutes. Okay, so what do you think? What's the problem with driving impaired? Alcohol and drugs and driving has many consequences, one of which is you lose your privilege to drive. Privilege. Being able to drive, having a driver's license in the state of Illinois is a privilege. It is not a right. And we find out when we don't have it and we have to take the bus, when we have to call for rides, when we have to wait on people to pick us up, when we have to walk in bad weather, when we have to try to navigate how to get to the grocery store and get the groceries home on the bus, or how to get kids to where they need to go. We find out that driving is truly a privilege. The next thing that we learn about is what is called implied consent. So when you get behind the wheel of a vehicle, whether it's a golf cart, a car, whatever that vehicle may be, three-wheeler, when you get behind the wheel, you have given your consent to take breath, blood, or urine test. When you refuse that, which you can certainly refuse the testing, but there's an automatic consequence of giving up your driver's license for at least 1 year, if not more. Okay. Now, there are other penalties, and in the manual, as you will see, there are many penalties, including fines, and even time in jail and time in prison. In addition to that, Illinois driver's license reinstatement fee is $500. New driver's license is $30. It might have gone up, don't know, have to check that out. Proof of financial responsibility, in other words, once you get that DUI, you're going to have to carry that insurance that costs a little more. You'll have to have a drug and alcohol evaluation. You will have an interlock ignition device. That's going to cost you at least $85 or more to be installed. It's going to cost you $80 or more for a monthly rental fee. And it's going to cost you $30 or more monthly monitoring fee. So those are some penalties given to us by the state of Illinois when we get a DUI. There's also laws concerning medication, prescription meds. If you are taking prescription medication and you are impaired, you will get a DUI. There are also penalties for people who take prescribed medication, such as pain, psychoanalytics, or I can't think of the word, medications. Those also carry penalties if you have used some alcohol or other drugs with them. Now, prescription drugs can also be classified as a controlled substance. So in Illinois, it is not illegal to drive with lawfully prescribed drug in your system, so long as you are not impaired and not driving unsafely. However, if you are not permitted to ingest the drug, you could still be found guilty. So in other words, if you don't have a script for that drug. Okay, more questions on that could be directed to the Department of Motor Vehicles. Okay, so we're going to move on. Penalties include prison, and in the manual it asks questions about that. Why should a person go to prison? Why should they go to jail? Those are questions you need to answer in your homework. The other thing is Why do you think, after going through all of this, that a person may be inclined to get another DUI? Okay, something to think about. Can be all kinds of reasons, and as we talked about early on, habit could be one of those. Okay, just want to touch on underage drinking and driving. Underage, under the age of 21. So 20 down. I think my youngest DUI client was 13. 13 DUI, stole his mother's car under the influence of alcohol, not once, but twice within a couple of weeks of each other. Got a DUI both times. Well, he probably drove more than that. He got 2 DUIs. Okay, so what happens? We know one thing, that if there is any amount of substances in their system, they can get zero tolerance. Zero tolerance while driving. So first offense, 3 months suspension. Second offense, 1 year suspension. They don't have to have a BAC, just any amount. Be the first violation and refusal is 6 months suspension. Second violation with the refusal is 2-year suspension. Okay. All right, I want to talk a minute about another consequence. Now moving to consequences, and that is financial. In the manual, there's a little chart which I want you to fill out, and it is called financial losses. It asks you to add up the following: the fines, education and treatment you have to have, your lawyer, your application for a restricted permit, your license reinstatement, salary or wages lost because you couldn't, you were in jail or you couldn't drive, or you had to go to court. Accident repairs for you and others, if that was part of it. Towing, we have to have our vehicle towed, and they are right there with the big cost. Medical costs for you and others, if that was something. Insurance increase for 3 years, and of course your ignition interlock device, and there may be some others there. So what I want you to do is take the number of drinks or the amount of drugs that you use and divide that. How much was each drink? How much was each drink, each hit, each whatever? Okay. Want to talk about some other negative consequences. It's embarrassing. You got to have people come pick you up, or people say, hey, come pick me up. You say, oh man, I don't have a driver's license. You got to pick your kids up. You can't do it. Your kids need you to go do something for them. You can't do it. You have to get on the bus, or you have to get a ride. You have to wait on people. So there's lots of things, and you will come up with some others of your own. For those individuals, and many are in this group of individuals that get a second DUI, so another arrest, how would that feel? I want you to write down your thoughts and feelings about that. And then after you complete that page, I need you to tell me, how confident are you that you will not get another DUI? How confident? And remember, it takes change, because if you just keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to be back in the same situation. So making the change, we're going to do a change plan. That change plan should include the exact steps you're going to take in order to avoid another DUI. And the first on that list is never drink and drive, and use alcohol in moderation, marijuana in moderation. We don't use other illicit drugs. Okay, there is no moderation for cocaine. All righty. Okay. So that is the long and short of Module 2. I need you to get that information to me, to fill out those worksheets, to watch the video, A Case for Murder. I need to have your responses to that video. What do you think? Is it murder, and why? All right. So this is Module 2 closing for today. Have a good day. Stay well. Hopefully we'll be doing this program face-to-face at some point in the future. All right. Thank you.